And we are live. Welcome to the second live, I guess, special with the man Dean Gardiner. He's come over here this week to do a trip up to Jurien with about 10 others. And I thought I'd get him in to ask him a few questions about what he's done and what sort of future he thinks that Surfski has going forward. So, hey Dean, how are you going?
Good, thanks, Michael. And you?
I'm all right.
Great.
So I guess like you're a 9-time Molokai champ. You're one of the most racing in sport. You've been around for 30 years. For me, I guess what I think a lot of people want to know is like where are you from and why did you end up in the East Coast of Australia?
Okay, so I'm from here, where we are now in WA, and I ended up in Sydney because at the time, and the industry that I was involved in was dying, and I was sort of paddling a little bit on the side, so I'd spend the winter up north and the summer down in Perth, and I sort of thought I need to sort of do something different for a while, so I went over to Sydney with the intention of going for maybe 3 to 5 years, and I've been there ever since. So I spoke to a couple of Manly guys, Tank and Steve Wood and those guys, and they said, come over and see how it goes. So went over and been there since.
So basically, Surfski paddling through your surf lifesaving background, or did you like join the surf club over in Perth first and then gradually move into ocean ski racing, or like did it start as you were sort of paddling, or how did it all sort of start? I don't know, how did you get into it?
I kind of always knew that I wanted to do something on the water, and so that's why I got into the fishing industry side of things. But I guess I had a bit of a competitive drive as well. So I was involved with a surf club called Floret Surf Club, which is a small club in WA. And then I just started paddling by myself and with a group of friends, basically. We didn't have a coach or anything like that. And because Perth doesn't have a lot of surf in summer, I would paddle in summer. And then I sort of got better at paddling, and I went to City of Perth, which was a more competitive club. And it kind of went from there. That when I remember reading about Grant Kenny going over and doing a race when he was 16, and I thought that sort of is what sort of attracted me straight away. I was like, bang, that's what I want to be doing. I did surf lifesaving races for a few years after that, but it was the distance races and the challenge of conquering the ocean and those sorts of things that I was really.
Yeah, so you're really into that sort of like that channel across the ocean sort of thing. So was Molokai your sort of first international surf ski race, or did you go to South Africa first? Like, where would you say that you actually did your first overseas?
My first international surf ski race was in California. I did a race from Monterey to Carmel, okay. And myself and a good mate of mine, Greg, were over there on a trip that we did over there for a few months, and this race came up, and I'd done a bit of paddling by then, so I thought I'd go and do it. And that was probably my first international race. I'd done a couple of long races in Perth. We had a race to Rottnest one year, and then the Avon Descent and a few things like that.
Yeah. So I think for you, would you say like the Molokai race is probably the biggest and most prestigious race in our sport now, or would you say there's so many other different ones? Like obviously in your era was Molokai the number one? Was that like the unofficial world championships, or was there other races at the time, sort of when you were 25 or 35 racing, that you thought was like the best?
Well, races have come and gone, so there's been some absolutely unbelievable events that we've done over the years, but they just haven't lasted. And Molokai has always been there. So for me, and I think for a lot of the top players, I think Molokai is the holy grail when it comes to ski paddling.
Yeah.
Probably not as much as it used to be, because there are a lot more races on now with a good history behind them. But prior to these events starting in around 2000, 2002, 2003, Molokai was definitely the world championship of ocean paddling, no doubt about it.
Yeah. And so when were you winning the Molokais? Like, was it through the 80s and 90s, or was it?
Yeah, so I in 92 and the last one in 2002.
Okay. And then So did you and Oscar race each other at those moments?
Not a lot, no. I think I raced Herman more than Oscar.
Yeah.
I raced Oscar a lot more after 2002. I sort of started to drop off the sport, management of the sport from about 2001, 2002, 2003. And I lost a lot of competitive drive after that period as well. So I actually didn't do a lot of races. I would be at a lot of races and organise a lot of races, but I didn't really have the interest in racing pretty well from that time onwards.
Yeah. So I guess when did you move from, say, the competitive sort of Dean Gardiner to sort of a more business sense Dean Gardiner, and started doing fancy surf skis and started to...
Yeah, so that was early 2000s. And then in that period between then and now, I've had periods of inspiration where I've been for 6 months or a year or whatever, and actually had a pretty good year, but I haven't been involved competitively permanently since about 2002.
Yeah. So, but then when you turn up now, you're sort of competing against guys that you may have raced in previous times, or you're racing against like this new crop of I know the Corey Hills, the Hank McGregors, like, and obviously Tim Jacobs and Jeremy Cotters and all those guys as well. Like, what keeps you going to events, and what keeps your sort of passion and drive to sort of be able to turn up to these events and obviously run them? And like, obviously it's a lot of time, work, effort and passion. Like, what makes you do that?
Yeah, well, I'm involved in it from a business perspective, but I'm involved in it from an emotional perspective too. It's something that if you took all the business side out of it, I would probably still be doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's something that obviously I can do, and I enjoy doing. I enjoy the people that do it. We're very lucky in this sport. We've got predominantly really nice people that do this sport, so that makes it a lot more fun. You get to go to some cool spots, and when you've clocked up a couple of wins, you get a little bit of respect, and that's nice too. So it's nice to turn up to a place and people know who you are or what you've done, and I don't want to be famous or anything, but I just love that mutual respect you get from the other partners and stuff like that. So so I think I'd still be doing it for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and I think like what sort of like yourself and like Oscar and Tim and Corey now as well, like you're sort of creating a bit of a legacy around having and like the personas that you have. Like when you get out there and you are so passionate about the sport, you're still bringing events to people, you're still doing tours, you're still having that love and that drive to sort of take people in the doubles down and have the training group in the morning, and sort of that's all sort of really spiraled for you as a sort of like how do you manage, I guess, like all that sort of time? Like you sort of here, there and everywhere a lot. You sort of try and put focus into running the events, focus into doing your squad, doing your business, your sales, sort of selling fence skis and Garrett paddles or whatever else you're selling at the time. How do you sort of manage that?
Yeah, so initially it was pretty tough because I was working 3 different jobs. I had this business, this ocean paddle business, and I was a fireman, and I was a commercial skipper as well, or captain, or whatever you want to call it. So I was working a lot, and that was good for me, I guess, financially at the time. But now, because that's been done, and it's put me in a situation where I can spend more time on the things that I really do like to do. But yeah, I guess, and then Yandy got involved with the business, and Shireen's been fantastic as well. Yandy's more involved with the business, so she takes a lot of that. In fact, she's a professional from when I started, so she's done an amazing job there. And Shireen's always been there doing background stuff, all this stuff a lot of people don't see. And then, I've just sort of been one of those people that's tried to have really good people around me. So, and we've had a lot of help too. So there's a lot of people that love paddling that have really helped us a lot, mainly through the event stuff. But had we not had those people, then the events wouldn't be where they are today. Yeah,
absolutely. So you're sort of like a team, you're sort of pushing that forward. And I guess for me, like, what I like what keeps pushing you forward to like keep doing this? Like how much longer can you keep sort of having this focus on ocean ski paddling, and how much longer will this drive keep going? Like, what is the future for, say, ocean paddler in 5-10 years time? Do you think like come through and maybe have an interest in doing it, or will someone like Leander step in, or what do you think will happen there? Like,
yeah, it's funny. Like it's the smallest thing can make you not want to do it anymore. You know, that we organise like the doctor and things like that, and it might just be someone saying something that just triggers you to go, "That's it." Or you know, someone's comment. You know, it's really weird, and it's insignificant. It doesn't mean anything. But it's just one of those things, and you're like, oh, why do I do this? Obviously, you know, but then I speak to people about it, and I've spoken to a lot of people about it, and I work on sort of a 10% FW rate, right?
Yeah.
So there's 10% of the population that you're never going to please regardless. Yeah. So if you're happy to have 10 people in every 100 hate your guts or whatever it is, then I can live with that. So you know, you try and do the greatest good for the greatest amount of people you can. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do with the events.
Yeah. And then so like with like this year, what is it looking like? Is it going to be bigger and better? Is it going to be more races? Is it going to like have more money, or is it going to be like the same? Like what are the key things that are happening this year?
Yeah, I think with this year's series, we're talking to some people at the moment that might get involved. It's definitely going to be, from a series perspective, definitely going to be bigger than last year. Some of the events themselves will remain the same.
Yeah.
None of them are going to get bigger in some sense. But the whole series itself will definitely be bigger. And you know, it's something that our sponsors, you know, Shore and Partners, believe a lot in. And we believe that WA, you know, globally is the best location for downwind paddling in the world. You know, pretty well mid-November through to January, you're going to have great winds most days, you know, 90% of the time. Yeah. So we're trying to work with that. Last year, it worked very, very well, and it was a really good trial year.
There wasn't much coming through, and then all of a sudden it was like
it all came. Yeah. And then so I think this year might even be a little bit bigger than that. Well, definitely will be a lot bigger than that.
So is it going to be more of an emphasis on the race week this year than, say, like the...
Yeah, I still think the Doctor's the race to win in the world. Like I think if you're the best ski paddler in the world, you're going to win the Doctor all the time. But we want to build this week. We want to make the other events around the week bigger, and you know, we've got fantastic people over here like Dean Gardiner and Rob Doherty, those guys that are doing a fantastic job with the IOP group. And then, you know, Trish and Muzz down at the City of Perth Surf Club, you know, they're doing a fantastic job. We want to try and make their events better as well. Yeah. So, you know, we're trying to make this week really, really special.
Yeah, I think I find like the grassroots community over here in WA is actually really, really strong. Like you've got those the IOP series running all the way over summer, and they have a winter series as well. So you've got that sort of club events. Like we're at that Drummers Downwind Challenge yesterday. So yeah, Adam Stimrod got that off the ground. It was a fantastic event. So probably wouldn't usually be right at the front there, so to get a really good result. Yeah,
no, what a fantastic concept. Yeah, unreal. Yeah, those guys have done an amazing job.
I think like even just like having like that drowning run for the summer and like keeping everyone interested, like especially once the Doctor and the Shore and Partners race week finishes, like it actually is quite hard for a lot of those guys to get motivated. And like if they know that they're constantly going for a downwind run and they're actually timing themselves on the clock, I think they're a lot more motivated. So I think it's a really cool thing. And something I've noticed since I moved here sort of 3-4 years ago that there is a very, very good, strong paddling community here. And then just the wind is always very, very good. So it's a really, really good place to be here over summer. So speaking of winning the Doctor, so you see this year Corey Hill wins again and Daniel McKenzie comes through and wins this one.
Yeah.
They're probably the two biggest names, well, I think, in the sport at the moment, just purely on runs on the board. Corey Hill, for example, probably arguably the best Steve Sersky player at the moment, like in all conditions, I think. And then you've obviously got like Hank and Sean and Kenny a couple other guys as well. But what do you think Corey has that, say, like when he gets in those runs and he's got that minute to go or whatever it is, what is that? What is the difference there?
Yeah, I think it's just a real confidence that you can do that. You know, there's always that. I think in runs, if you've done the work and you're fit enough, and you've obviously spent the time training for it, and you're particularly good at that discipline, then I think, and got confidence, then I think that at some point you can always pull away.
Yeah.
And I know that at some point in my racing life I had that. You know, I knew I could always pull away from guys that were better paddlers than me.
Yeah.
But I knew that I could just pull away from them. Yeah. And Corey has that. He has that right now. You know, so I think I think, you know, to watch Corey. I've watched Corey race quite a bit. You know, it's a pretty good sight to watch. You know.
Yeah.
I love seeing it well. He goes well. You know, and I was lucky last year. I did the double at Molokai with Mitchell Trim. So, and you know, we were in the lead for a bit of that, and I got to watch Corey and Hank dicing over to our right. So I hadn't been in that situation for a long time.
Yeah.
So it was pretty neat to watch those guys race.
And you think like big names of the sport like coming through, like who do you think is going to be like the next sort of name that's going to sort of take, say, someone like Corey maybe off his perch? Like you see like guys like Tom Norton doing very well. Jackson Collins is coming through really, really strong. Like Macca Heinhard's, like he has really good races here and there as well. So like who do you think is going to be that next sort of big name in that division?
I think the Mr. X at the moment, and there's two of them. Oh, actually, I think this might even be three of them.
Yeah.
Tom Norton.
Yeah.
Nick Naughton.
Yeah.
And Josh.
Yeah.
You know, Josh came up with a win in Spain over there a couple of weeks ago.
His first international win. Yeah.
And that was phenomenal. You know, just to see. I didn't think he was ready for that yet. You know, he's come through. I think the more wins that Tommy Norton gets on the board,
yeah,
I think that will give him more confidence. And to me, Nick Naughton doesn't look like he needs confidence. He's just one of those.
He's got the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah, he's just got that magic. So, but you know, obviously Jackson Collins is a good worker, grinder. He paddles the runs well. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how he goes over the next couple of years. And and then there's all those floaters. You know, like Macca can come in and have an absolute blinder. Yeah. Then he might have a shot the next week. So,
we had a race win today. Well done, Macca.
Yeah, on your Macca.
Yeah.
You know, I think if he gets his consistency together a little bit more, then you know he's a big threat as well. And Noah Harvard's coming through. You got the Oscar, you know, coming through, and there's a bunch of young kids coming through. So, and I think there's actually some young kids in South Africa as well, apart from Nick and Josh. I think they've showed up at some of the events in Europe last year. So
you got like Valentin Newt, his brother as well.
Yeah, you got the French. There's a couple of young guys there, and you know what is sad is the Tahitians dropped off. You know, like the time of Lewis Laughlin and some of the boys that were sort of following him, Eric Dean and those boys. What's the big fella's name?
Big fella's very
big fella. Recently, like those guys have, you know, their talents, they're phenomenal talents. Same training situations we have, and but you know, there's great talent. Ramona, yeah,
Hero,
yeah.
He was doing a bit. I think he's just gone to the and big.
Yeah,
because
obviously Baja over there is really big for them. It's their national sport. So,
and then you've got the women's. I guess you got Daniel McKenzie winning up. Then you've got like great paddlers like Georgia Laird, Jordan Mercer, Anna Switch, American girl coming.
Hayley Nixon.
Yeah. There's all these great women. Like, who do you think's going to really shine in?
Yeah, I think Danielle, you know, really came out and blasted everyone this year. So, but they're not too far off. Gemma Smith is unbelievable talent. She does
everything, eh?
She does 100 different sports.
Yeah.
And
all really, really well.
And she's so she is someone that when she works out which one she really wants to do, then she'll obviously do really well at that. And she can ride runs. She's a talent in the sea. So then Geordie and Georgia Laird. There's a whole bunch. Bonnie Hancock's in and out. She has some good races
today as well. Yeah.
There's other girls around the world. There's European girls that are doing pretty well as well. So I think we're lucky here because we get the tough racing every race. You might do a race in Europe where the guy might win by 10 minutes or the girl might win by 10 minutes, but
yeah.
So
I think it's gotten really, really competitive. I think I remember years ago when I first started, I think in the juniors and the women's, I think that's where this place where the sport's really, really grown. I think you've seen a lot more of the better female athletes, especially from surf lifesaving backgrounds and kayaking backgrounds, actually stepping in and doing the ocean ski races, which I think is fantastic. And and I think especially in the juniors now, we speak about that. You got I used to say Noah and also Pat Ely, all these younger fellas coming through, making the Australian team. They're ready to go racing the worlds this year. I find that when I started surf ski, I started surf ski when I was 22, 23, and I was the youngest guy, and I was the youngest guy for a long time. So Heiner came through, the youngest guy, and it was just but now there's 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds actually doing the sport, which I think is fantastic to see. Yeah, what do you think is about that?
Well, there's been a few things. One, we've tried to make the young paddlers to get into the sport by offering free entry to races and really trying to support the younger paddlers. We with my company's made a big effort to support younger paddlers, and then we started this guns team. So they get some fair bit of incentive to go and do more of the ARS races. Because the focus for us is purely ARS races. So if we can get more young guys to them and girls to them, then the sport gets bigger. There's really no other driving force behind the sport here in Australia unless we've got that going. So
team, can you tell us a little bit more about who's on it and how it all came about?
Yeah, so we spoke to Investec last year and they wanted to get involved in our series. They came on as a series sponsor, and I came up with the concept of having a young team under their banner, and then I spoke to Pat at Pony, and everyone was really supportive, and also Ken Holden from Garra, they were all really supportive of the whole team, and so we putting that together, we put out an expression of interest for people that wanted to get on it. We were flooded with applications to be on the team.
Yeah. But
the focus for us was picking people that had a fair bit of experience in ocean paddling, because that's what we're interested in.
Yeah.
Done quite a few of the ARS races, so they knew what it was all about.
Yeah.
And results were part of it, but they weren't the key to it. People that we thought would fit that nicely. And we were going to do 5, but we came up with 8. So.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I think it's really cool. I think I've spoken to a few of the guys and the girls who made the team, India, Pat Ely, and a couple others. And they were really, really stoked. They sort of give support and they can sort of start creating their future. So I think it's a really great thing you've done for the younger competitors. And speaking of sponsors, I guess you've got one of the biggest sponsors of our sport at the moment, Sean Partners on board. What do you think their involvement's been, and how do you think their influence has changed the sport? And is it a positive thing, or is it do you there's a lot of people always say they might come in 1 year and then drop out. They've been around for now 4 years. They committed to another 2. It's great. You have great sponsors like this sort of every sort of generation. And I think that are really very passionate about the sport. So I think the sport's in a very great place. They're really, really lucky. But what is your thought process can we get more sponsors like that on board, and can help influence that?
Oh, most definitely, and Shore and Partners already are influencing that. The amount of, I call it fluffy stuff, that Shore and Partners do is phenomenal. It's not just the contribution to the series, which is a significant contribution, but it's all the other stuff, and there's a massive workload and cost that comes with all that stuff. So whatever you're seeing and at the events, you got to know there's another two of that going on behind the scenes, and
there's definitely a layer of it behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the level of professionalism that they bring to the sport has made us lift our game as well. We're trying to bring ourselves up to there, because obviously, for us at Ocean Paddler, we're just people that sell surf skis. We're not IMG. We don't claim to be a massive events company. But for us, it's a passion, and it's a thing we do because we believe that the more we do stuff, the more people will want to do this sport. So,
they're doing a great job. So,
and I think it's proving itself right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And like with so you've been bringing in sort of Fen as well. Fen's like a big sort of income around your events, sort of promoting Fen. I guess, like, for me, it's like, why do you think Fen are the best surf skis? Like, you've obviously been paddling them for, I don't know, 20 years now. Like, they're, how are they different to everybody else's, and why do you think that they're better?
Yeah, I think they're, I think the Fens are just are built for ocean paddling. So I think Fen look at the shape of the ski, the underside of the ski, and go, that's going to work. And then the other stuff comes, like, all the pretty stuff, the colours, the different things that happen, and on your boat, the deck of the boat is sort of the second thing, right? So the ski's not working. Doesn't matter what you do to the top of it, it's not going to work, right? So, and I think that's the concept that they've worked with, and it's obviously been the most successful out of all the brands, because when you look at the results, they're the boats that have been winning. So I like that. And I like that it's I like the wholesomeness and the purity of that Keith and their Travis, and that bring, it's a family business. They're not out to make 10,000 skis a day. They're out to make whatever they can make, and then get them out to us. And we know there's other good skis out there, of course. But for me, I've had the opportunity to be involved with a lot of the brands, and this is the one that I believe is the best.
Yeah, I think it's a lovely family. I've been lucky enough to be involved with them in parts over the past few years, and I think it's a fantastic company to be sort of promoting and being part of. Doing a really good job. We've had our first live comment from Dan Pratt. It's a bit of a dig at me though, but it says, I noticed the guy, some of the photos from the DDC, the guy in the back, which was me, the double, was a bit out of time. Just, Dean, do you give me some choice words of encouragement to sort of help out when I'm out of time in that sort of period?
Well, I have a difficult stroke to keep up with, and I've struggled with my time. Trinity is one of them. In Hawaii last year, I've destroyed Leachy a few times. So yeah, I know that sometimes I rate a little high, and sometimes I'm hot and cold.
Yeah, I actually shortened my paddle yesterday so I could actually keep up with his rating, because he's just way too fast. So when you get to the old age, paddle proficiency doesn't allow you to paddle fast anymore, because you're not proficient, right? So you rely on rating and all the things you can do to get down the road. Yeah, and so, like, I guess on that, like, if you have a tip for, like, the people who are watching today, or people watching this post-production, what would be a tip? Like, what would be your three key tips for someone who wants to get into ocean ski paddling?
Yeah, the first thing is to allow you to go into the ocean. Yeah, and that you see that happen a lot, where people go for the skinny ski straight away, and they spend the learning period trying to keep the ski upright. And the learning period should be about learning how to catch runs. Yeah, excuse me. And then the second thing is, obviously, you got to paddle in the ocean, and then the third thing is you got to try. So I laugh when I see people doing 2 sessions in the ocean and 3 sessions in the gym. Yeah, I understand if that's a time thing, but the gym sessions are not going to help you, and I'm a classic example of that. Are not going to help you learn to catch chop. And catching chop's a lifetime learning experience. You know, it's not a thing you learn in 6 months, 8 months, 2 years, 3 years.
You get that sort of like 0.5% better.
Yeah.
It always be stronger, so I learn.
And I look at the guys that have slowly worked their way through look at Brendan Rice, for example, you know, over here in WA, great paddler. He's slowly, each year he just gets that little bit better, you know, and it's, and he's doing the same thing he's doing every day. He's doing that run down from Freo or wherever, and he's just getting better and better and better. And there's a lot of guys like that. I see it on the East Coast as well. I know I'm getting slower. So
this was a bit of a battle with us yesterday for the first 4K. These sort of come away from this.
So it's good to see. Like, I love seeing guys have a crack at it and just get better.
Yeah, no, I've really enjoyed playing with Ricey over here. It's always a good little battle, and we always have a good race, especially in those IRP races. Here. He's just so good, and he just goes missing on the outside, and then you're like, where'd he go? And then he just comes in front.
He comes in, yeah.
So you sort of covered that one. That one you covered. Is there any more questions from anybody watching online? If you guys have any questions, I think Trav just got on there. Thanks for the nice words from the DDC. Yeah, that was good. Trav, we really appreciate all your work yesterday. Absolutely. How did we finish 51st? But okay, so we'll go into, so you've seen the move of ICF into the sport over the past 5 or 6 years. How do you think that's been a positive impact on the sport, and how do you think it's been a negative impact on the sport? And what do you think that they are either helping with or sort of not really helping with?
Anything, obviously the ICF's a big, or whatever they're called now, Planet Canoe or whatever. They're a big organisation, right? Yeah. So anything that can bring the sport more profile and bring it to more people in the country, I think it's a good thing for the sport. I think the only negative I operate is they're running ocean paddling the same as they run their core canoe sports, and it's a different sport for those.
Yeah.
So and that concerns me a little bit. They're a big organisation, so they have various boards, and no one makes decisions. And there's probably dare I say it, levels of corruption in those big organisations, and I'm always a little bit cautious of those. I think if they're an event in Spain, it's a big event. A lot of people want to go to. I think it's a good thing. Yeah,
I think you've seen a lot of people who like that sort of pathways really get involved with the sport. I think it has helped a few of the younger kids get involved. So like, I can make Australia. I can go to wherever it is in September this year, and they just announced they've got 3 All World Championships over the next 3 years. I think one's in Manchester, one's in Auckland. So I think that's pretty cool that people can sort of start planning for those. But sort of a lot of core events that sort of people still want to win. I think you've got, I know for myself in like stand up, when you have an ICF and ISA World Championship, you still want to go to both because they're both technically World Championships. Organisation. So I think that is the bragging rights some people do want, but I think obviously in certain doctors that you want to win the Molochais and those sort of events, I think are always going to be key.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like golf, tennis, and basketball in the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Who cares? Yeah. Really. So if I was a tennis player, I would want to win Wimbledon, or the US Open, or the Australian Open, or the French Open.
Yeah.
If I was a basketball player, I would want to be the NBA champion. If I was a golfer, I want to win the British Open. So really those big races like Molokai, Doctor, those events are, I think they're the ones that most people want to win.
Yeah. And so like in Australia at the moment, like, so we've got lots of sponsors around the series. Like, who are the sponsors of the Australian Racing Series? And like, why are they involved, and like, what do they bring to the sport?
Yeah, well, so I'll go from the very start. Obviously, the first sponsor was us.
Yeah.
Ocean Paddler and Fen. They have been involved since we started, since 2001. And then the next sponsor that came on was the Bird Brothers from Thor's.
Yeah.
They've been a sponsor for almost 20 years. And not a painless sponsor. I just ring up and they go, "Yep, we're in."
Yeah.
And their business paramount Paramount Safety Products is massive, and you know they've done amazing things to help us along the way. And then you know we've had some of the other brands being involved from time to time. You know Nello were involved for a long time. We've had Stella involved. We've had Epic involved. We've had it's fantastic that those guys have been involved. I would love to see all these new guys that are coming in put some money into the sport.
Yeah.
You know, we had one company that I asked to be a sponsor. I'm not asking for much money.
Yeah.
And next week they call up one of the people that we sponsor and offer them money to travel and do all the events. So I sent them a message saying it's pretty hard for that person you're offering money to do the events if we're not running the events, right?
Yeah.
So there should be a contribution from all those different brands. It doesn't have to be to our series, but to the events in general.
Yeah.
But obviously our series is driving it all here in Australia at the moment.
Yeah, and I guess for me, I guess the thing that I guess in some of your events you do, you actually ask the elite athletes of brands that aren't sponsoring the series to actually put money in. I guess that's a bit contentious. So I guess like why do you do that?
Yeah, so the reason we do that is because we have been asking the other brands for money for a long time, and very few have actually come up years with any money. And these events have over the years cost us a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we made a decision 2 years ago that the events are going to cost us nothing anymore because we spent too much money on it already.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fair that we did all the work and all these other brands benefited from sales and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we're not forcing anyone to sponsor this series. We're just saying, you know, you're only selling skis because we're running the series.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. So we set up a thing where we had an elite category for the doctor, and obviously if your brand was a sponsor of the series, then you know you didn't have to pay.
Yeah.
And it was the only way we could sort of try and drag some money out of the brands without affecting the general populace that does the races.
Yeah.
Because we know that only 3% or less than 3% are going to win prize money at our events.
Yeah.
So we were hoping that 3% would put pressure on their brands to say, why aren't you getting involved in this sport?
Yeah.
Why are you just loafing along and doing sales without contributing?
Yeah.
And it was the only way we could do it without affecting, you know, the 54-year-old guy that just wants to have a paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still pays regular entry bid. He knows he's not going to win. He doesn't enter the entry.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people out there who think that you make a lot of money from the events. Like, are you making a lot of money from the events, or are you using it purely as a marketing tool? Because you're talking a lot about what you just said, like your series helps market essentially the sport, which helps market surf ski paddling in general, which eventually results in sales for these brands in the industry. Like, how do you model your events, and do you make money?
Yeah, no, I wish we did make money out of the events. I can honestly say that over the last 20 years, we've lost money on more events than we've broken even on.
Yeah.
You know, even it doesn't include our time. It doesn't include us flying to Perth, paying our way, staying in a place. So, you know, I can just break down the doctor quickly. You know, if we get $50,000 worth of entry revenue for the doctor, partners, we have $50,000 in prize money. Shore partners do half the prize money. We do the other half. So there's 25 of our revenue gone straight away. Then significant for that event, which is 10,000. So we're up to 35 now. And then we had Greg Kiddo, who we fly over from South Africa to film it. There's another 5. PR, which is another 5, and then all your other costs, which add on insurance and so on and so on and so on. So it's pretty easy to see that it's not a money-making venture. $300 competitor.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is what most other events do.
Well, yeah, you've got something like the Rottnest Channel Swim. Like, I was blown away to think that a team of 4 costs us $1,200.
Charge that.
At the same time, you know?
If you need to charge that if you're an events company out to make money.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy to see that at other events we have an operating budget of about 10 to 20,000 per event.
Yeah.
On the smaller events, and you know, if you look at entry revenue up to 7,000 or 8,000, so it barely covers a lot of the costs, you know. So it's I'm not whining about it. I love, you know, I love
we
doing
obviously
what we're
passionate
doing.
that way.
And for me, the biggest reward has been seeing what's happened with what we've done, you know. So, you know, the ICF, we talked about that before, they wouldn't be doing anything if we hadn't created what we've created, you know. So, and it's not just us in Australia. Parker and the boys did way back in South Africa 20 or 30 years ago. It's what Carter Johnson's doing in the US, you know, with the gorge race. It's what Paddy Maloney's doing with his World Series. You know, all these things are driving sport. And I think, you know, the ICF now can say, oh shit, you know, we could miss out. That's the reason they're getting involved. You know?
No, I think the sports are very, very good. If there's competition between like private event organisers, like all the guys you spoke about there, and then you've got the ICF coming in and creating a very competitive environment, I think it's only good for the sport, and I think the sport's going to go forward regardless. So I think it's very, very lucky, and I think the juniors are very fortunate to sort of have that sort of thing happening in the sport now. And I'm just happy just to still be involved. I sort of said in my blog post the other day, like I'm so lucky to still be able to paddle and ski or paddle and to be able to do this as a job for now, and it's like as long as it'll last, it's fantastic. So I'd love to be in your position at 54 years old. Is that right? Yeah.
55 now.
55. Well, 55 years old and still be doing something you're passionate about. So I think you've done really, really
You can take over if you're ready.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask Dean or myself or future podcasts, you can put them in the comments or anything like that. But really appreciate everybody's watched along, and I'll see you guys on Friday at 1 o'clock. I'll be doing my normal vlog, just seeing what I've been up to. So big thanks to Dean Gardiner for coming on, and hopefully he's answered a few of the questions that were on your minds, and this will be shared across Facebook. And yeah, thanks a lot. Cheers.